What's up guys, Matty here. In today's video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways you can add echo or delay to a certain clip of an audio file, usually a vocal. All 3 ways are really easy, and the third one is the one I use in all my mixes, just so you know, that's the one I prefer. Before we do get started, please make sure to like and subscribe if you can. If you need your songs mixed or mastered, you can hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. You can also get my courses and presets there too. Let's go. All right guys, so here is a quick clip of a vocal from my buddy Trip Carter. What we're gonna be doing is just trying to delay this last line in the audio file. So the first way, and the most traditional way, I guess you could say, is a send and return. And so how you do that is you go to the sends and just click here and go to new track. And we're just gonna make a stereo aux track. You wanna make sure it's an auxiliary track and call it delay or whatever you'd like to call it. Hit create and you'll notice that suddenly there's a delay send here and the delay return here. So when we play this vocal, when we play this track, this vocal will go here as well.
Still we forced anniversary.
So obviously we don't want that to happen. So what we're gonna do is put the actual delay there. And so for this, we'll use the mod delay, which is the delay that comes with Pro Tools. And then if you hit play, let's add some feedback here just to make sure that it trails long enough and we can really hear it. We hit play, we'll hear the delay.
So
that's cool, it's working now, but it's not exactly what we want. We just want it at the end of that verse. So you go over here to the selector and you'll see now that down at the bottom there's the send delay option. And we're gonna switch that to mute and this will come out. So what I'll do is click my send and make it and mute it. So that way the delay is not playing at all. Then you can go in, scroll in, and make sure you use the 3 selector where you have all different selectors selected, and then just go to that part you want delayed and unmute it. So now if we play this back, it will only delay here. So there it is. And if we want to add a delay here, it's no problem now. We just select it and select it and then turn it on. Okay guys, so the next way to do this is to actually duplicate the track. So what you do is you go to Pro Tools and you can, like I said, you can do this in ADAW. I'm just gonna duplicate the track. And we're not gonna select active playlist and we're not gonna select alternative playlist, just want the rest of the stuff. And now the track's duplicated with the same EQ settings we had on the original track. Now we can go and add a delay. This time we'll add repeater, which is a delay from Slate, or actually D16, but it's in the Slate bundle. And we're just gonna make sure to turn our mix all the way up to 100%. Some delays will have it 100% like the Avid. 100% is always on for the mix. This one it wasn't, so we just cranked it all the way. So that's there. Now, this is much easier, at least for me, than using just the sends and returns. Whoops. Now we can just go in and say we want that part again, and separate it and then drag it down. And you can just option drag. Once you separate, just option drag it down and it will come right down. That way you leave the main vocal there, but now we have a delayed vocal as well.
Oh, shorty to the mercy.
And what I like about this is you can turn it down here, or you can actually, turn the clip down or go to volume, or volume and trim it down here. There's a couple different ways you can turn up and down your delays, and to me it's just a quicker way of doing things. Okay, so now we're gonna go over the third way of doing this. This is the way I always do it in my mixes, and there's a reason behind it. It's because it will save you a lot of CPU power. If you notice the way we did it in the example before, the EQ and compression settings came down when we duplicated it. Now if you do this 10 times for 10 different delays, you're gonna run into a lot of CPU power issues and maybe possible overloads where you just can't run the session anymore. So what I like to do is after I fully mix the song, I commit it or bounce that audio file of the full mix, of the full vocal, and then that way it has all the plugin settings recorded into it basically, and then I can put the delays on whatever I want. So let me show you how to do that. So here's our vocal like we've been using with the EQ and effects. What I'll do is go over here and go to commit. Now this might be bounce or some other option in the DAW you're using, export the audio file with effects. There's different options, but it's pretty simple to look it up. And I just hit commit. And so what this is gonna do is it's gonna commit the file. It's gonna record the vocal basically with all the EQ settings in there and dump it below it. So this is the same file, just with the EQ settings on it. Now I can go here, and then I'll create a couple delays, a couple duplicates of this without the audio files. And then I can put my delays here. And so for instance, this time we use H delay by Waves. So always make sure your analog's off. And then you can put your setting, whatever you want. The mix is already 100%. And here we can just go and I'll mute this main one. So this is always kind of like my master, I guess you could say. And then I can just go through and drag down any delays I want right to the files. And the beauty of this is, say you want to use a quarter note delay here. And then, but for this vocal, we wanted an eighth note or a half note delay, right? So we just duplicate this file again. And we have the H delay again. And then we switch this to a half note. And we can drag this file down here. So now you have a quarter note here and a half note here, and you're not using all the CPU power. So let's check it out.
Post anniversary. Should have both showed each other mercy. 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 Mercy.
So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Please let me know in the comments below. If you do need your song mixed or mastered, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. You can also find my courses and presets there too. Talk to you soon.